emotionalize on this. The quality of tourism that's happening in Mendocino County is really going more towards the concepts of ecotourism and getting people out. And I think more and more the folks that are arriving here from the north and coming from the south really want to get out and they want to walk. And there are more and more opportunities that I think can be created here for people out on foot that will actually encourage them to stay longer and hence spend more money in the local community. So I think that working together, this can really be a win-win. And Fort Bragg has come a long ways with our bike lanes and our streetscapes. It's really improved the downtown area. And I don't know that we're going to see any benefits from these investments in the near future because of the economic downturn. And I think that's what's really hitting everyone right now. But for the long-term view, which the individual spoke about from the Walla Hotel, which I stayed at, by the way, back many, many years ago, I think it was 1982, and it was a very different establishment then. It's really where we really need to be, is getting people out and getting people into the communities and encouraging diminishment of the vehicle when you get to your service center, getting people out and walking around. I think it builds the community, and I think it's really going to be an enhancement. So I would encourage everyone to keep working on it and come up with an option that's going to address the parking issues and move forward to try to really obtain that very valuable grant money. And that Caltrans money is there. Fort Bragg is taking advantage of it. Lakeville has taken advantage of it. And I think that, in the next couple of years, there will be money that will be able to really get this project on the ground. So I encourage you to keep working on it.
Thank you. Supervisor Bell.
Is there been county planning staff involved?
Yes.
Sorry. So with some of these questions that have come up in terms of what parking may be required for different uses, that resource is available.
Sure.
What's the timing of the underground project? I don't know if you have that answer, or Mr. Shield may have that answer. Where are we now? I'm asking staff at this point.
Okay. Actually, that, I guess, jumps into what my presentation was going to be. Right now, Supervisor Elbar.
Well, the problem, Mr. Chairman, is we're combining both those items.
Right.
So,
do you want me to give a little history and just do what I was going to do?
I guess we're waiting on that one, but
yeah.
To me, it's a no-brainer that the undergrounding has to occur first. We made that mistake in Potter Valley. We actually bumped Potter down to the bottom, just like we did Walla before, the bottom of the undergrounding list. And then when we moved back up to the top, as Supervisor Colbash will recall, when we got some issues worked out, the Rule 20 issue kicked us out because at that point we could not use the monies to replace the panels. And that community can't afford to do it on its own. Now that that issue is over the hurdle, we can move that back up once Walla is done. We did put new sidewalks in, we did repave the road, and we will have to tear that up if we get back to undergrounding that community. I do not want to see that happen again here. That was a bad mistake, but a mistake we didn't have actually a choice in making. In terms of the bike lane, I have seen two-way bike lanes work. And if we have a limited amount of space out here, that's an option I just assume we keep on the table. Ideally, we'd have two, but one bike lane going both ways does actually work. And in terms of eliminating the parking, making it a walkable community, it's sort of pushing the shopping cart half a mile after you load up with groceries at the surf market and have to go find your car down the road somewhere. The marking spaces are critical. And I know that everybody's trying to find a resolution for that, and I hope that occurs, but it's just if we're starting from scratch and we can plan around the types of businesses that require nearby parking and those that don't, that's an advantage we don't have here. So recognizing that some of these parking spaces are very critical to the businesses and their success, as I'm sure, I know, Mr. Green, you have in consideration and others have as well. But I don't think we can necessarily get to the utopian viewpoint of, well, we can just make everything walkable, because that does not work for a lot of these businesses.
Well, I have no quarrel with what you just said. Nobody's proposing to eliminate the parking in front of the surf markets without solving the problem.
Exactly.
Thank you. There was a member of the public, please. I'm trying to wrap
this item up to move into the underground, so.
Okay. Yes, and I'm Janet Kuklinski, but I want to speak as a citizen of the community and talk about the services that are needed for the 10,000 residents, the people who keep the businesses going for the tourism. And I think that we have to look at both things, because those families who are raising young children, we also have an aging population. Yes, it's not, when they go shopping, they're going to go to the grocery store. We do have more than one grocery store in town. There's also the Malala supermarket. And so, you know, it's usually fairly balanced, but when people come into town, I think they say, oh, parking lot's full and surf, I'll go to Malala today. And so that could become a permanent situation, which is economically very unfair to, you know, one of the two grocery stores that we have. I also, the other thing I invite, and I did invite the Board of Supervisors to come and see the Action Network Family Resource Centers, but as also John suggested, as seeing the broader community, I do seriously invite you and ask you to consider coming back again